What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former unified three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer who is widely considered by many to be, at the time, top two, if not number one, definitely top five pound for pound best fighters in the world, in Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. took a horrific loss, okay? This is not the first time Errol Spence has faced adversity in his career. Errol Spence, or in his life. Errol Spence is now 28 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, Errol Spence, a few weeks ago, July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, he took on the toughest task of his career, the biggest fight of his career, as he took on undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, now the welterweight undisputed world champion, who is widely considered, recognized to be the number one best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terrence "Bud" Crawford. Terrence Crawford is now 40 wins, no losses, no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. With that said, that was the biggest fight, the most anticipated fight in the last decade. It was on paper to be the most competitive 50-50 fight if there ever was one on paper, between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. And it turned out not to be that. It turned out to be one-sided. It turned out to be a domination on the part of Terrence Crawford. And it's ironic because going into the fight, Errol Spence made a statement that it's going to be a one-sided beatdown, and he's the big fish, as he refers to himself. It was going to be a crawfish boil, as Terrence Crawford's name is Crawford, right? And it turned out to be anything but that, right? It turned out to be Errol Spence winning the first round, as I gave it to him, and then Terrence Crawford taking over and dominating. He dropped Errol Spence in the second round, dropped him twice in the 7th round, and stopped him in the 9th round. And Errol Spence took a brutal beating while doing so, because the fight really and truly should have been stopped in the 7th round, right? So nonetheless, Errol Spence took a serious beating in this fight. And, Errol Spence immediately after the fight, he showed the heart of a warrior. He showed the dog that he is. And Errol Spence stated he wants the immediate rematch, right? He said, hopefully we can do it again, immediately. He just wants to do it at junior middleweight at 154 pounds, okay? He doesn't want to do it at welterweight anymore, as many people, speculated that Errol Spence was weight drained, because many of Errol Spence's fans and many of Terrence Crawford detractors, they simply cannot digest and accept the fact that Errol Spence got dominated in this fight. But Errol Spence is accepting it. He's accepting, the one-sided beating that he took in this fight. And he's using it as motivation. And Errol Spence is, not down on himself, right? And Errol Spence responds to all the people that have been saying that, he should be retiring. He should call it quits. He didn't look like himself. Something serious can happen to him in the ring. We know he suffered a horrific car accident in October of 2019, just 10 days after unifying the belts against 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer, now retired future Hall of Famer Showtime Sean Porter. And then Errol Spence he came back 14 months later, and he defeated 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia, dominated him and nearly broke his orbital bone. He was scheduled then to face off against legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao, but Errol Spence suffered a broken or detached retina, a serious eye injury that saw Errol Spence have to be, removed from that fight. They were supposed to fight August 21st of 2021. Then he was out the ring for a year. He came back and beat the man that replaced him for the Pacquiao fight, which was Cuban star boxer and then the WBA champion in Yordenis Ugas. A year later, April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T, Dallas Cowboys Stadium. He fought Yordenis Ugas, 2022, broke his ribs, nose, and orbital bone. Okay, dominated the fight, became a unified 3-belt world champion. And so Errol Spence, came back a year later, fought Terrence Crawford, and he was the one that got dominated, right? He said, this is how it feels to be on this side. So he's accepting what it feels like to be on the wrong side of a beating, as he's the one usually dishing out these beatings. And so now he says, this is what it feels like to be on this side. Okay, now it's time to tie up my boots, pull up my britches and dig back deep, right? And let's do it at 154. And so there's a lot of people from world champions like Gary Russell Jr., Yordenis Ugas, Danny Garcia, many fighters, boxing pundits, analysts. They like Errol Spence, even including myself. I feel like Errol Spence should take some time off, including Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford said he think Errol Spence should take some time off. And Errol Spence responds, and he says, he's frustrated with the fans, frustrated with the media, frustrated with his peers, frustrated with everybody saying, that he should call it quits and he should retire. And Errol Spence is like, listen, I'm not calling it quits. I'm not retiring. And Errol Spence said, man, you dudes are scared. You dudes is the type of dudes that run home, get chased home. He's frustrated. He used words of frustration, right? I'm paraphrasing for the words that he used. Obviously, you can see it. So he clearly is very, very frustrated with the state of, how he's perceived and his health, right? You had a doctor come out and the doctor said, Errol Spence, he can see that he's suffering from neurologic issues. His eyes was glossy. His balance was off. He was getting dropped by a jab, which is not true, because if you pay attention, Terrence Crawford is a natural right-hander. So it's not a jab that he got dropped with. He actually got dropped with a power hand, a straight right hand equivalent from Terrence Crawford, who stood in the southpaw stance the entire time in his fight. So he didn't get dropped by a jab. And so Errol Spence is expressing his frustration with people saying that, he should retire, or he took a beating and need to take time off, or that, he needs to be checked up, and, that people shouldn't allow him to go into the fight. And well-renowned two-time trainer of the year, future Hall of Famer Derrick James should have stopped the fight early in the 7th round. This shouldn't have been, Errol Spence could get seriously hurt in the rematch, and people don't want to see the rematch. And Errol Spence is frustrated, and he said, who raised you dudes? You know what I'm saying? I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm going back at it. I'm going to take another stab at it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going back for it. And again, like I said, I'm one of the people that feel like Errol Spence needs time off. But this is not surprising coming from Errol Spence, as he is a warrior. Errol Spence is, if the referee didn't step in and wave it off, if the crowd wasn't calling for it, the doctor stepped on the apron, Errol Spence he kept getting up. He would have kept fighting, and Terrence Crawford would have had to brutally knock him out and carry Errol Spence out the ring. So it's not surprising to hear Errol Spence say these words. What do we expect Errol Spence to say? He's a competitor. He's a soldier. He's a dog. This is who he is. So what do you expect from Errol Spence? What did you expect him to say? Right? No, he's frustrated. He's angry. He's disappointed. And like he said, when his mother hugged him, I'm pissed off. Right? This is not the way he envisioned this fight going, obviously. So, of course, Errol Spence is going to be frustrated. This is nobody should take it personal, because he's frustrated. He's a competitor. He's a dog. And this fight didn't play out the way he wanted it to. And no way in the world did he envision it playing out like this. When him and Terrence Crawford came face to face, and Terrence Crawford said, I'm going to stop you. And he said, all my life, you ain't going to stop me. Ain't no way he envisioned this. And then he got stopped, dropped 3 times, and then stopped. So you got to take that into consideration. That is his frustration. And now Terrence Crawford, he stated that he too struggles to fight at 147. So he plans to go up to 154 as well. And he's welcome. He said, Errol Spence gave me the opportunity. So for sure, I'm giving him the opportunity, period. So let's see how it unfolds and plays out. But Errol Spence sends a message to the fans, the media, the critics, and everybody else. Stop being soft. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.